Good afternoon. This is an exciting day. I know some people thought that this bill was unfair or sends a wrong message, but I've got to tell you, I see this bill as a very common sense kind of response to what we need in this country and in this state. Yes. We are giving a chance to people that have been through all our school systems, has the same diplomas as everybody else, and who will come and get educated here and stay here when they graduate. They'll build... The future of our state and our economy is in their hands. And I can't believe that we can turn it over to any better people than the students that we have right here in this room today. I just want to take one moment to recognize somebody that's not with us today, and that's our Mayor, John DeStefano. I want to thank him publicly for all the work he has done right here in New Haven. I know he can't be with us today, but we cannot go have an event like this without thanking him. And now it's kind of a great time for me because I'm getting the chance to introduce a person who I think is an example of why and what we're doing here today. Maria Praley has attended Connecticut schools since kindergarten. Next year, she will graduate from New Milford High School. Maria was born in Peru, and she is exactly the type of student we want to keep here in our state. So let's give Maria a warm welcome.
Good afternoon, Governor Malloy, Lieutenant Governor Wyman, other elected officials, friends, and members of the press. My name is Maria Praley. Today I stand before you to share my story as an undocumented American. When I was 5 years old, I found myself roaming the halls of Hallam Plain, shy at first with no knowledge of the English language. It didn't take too long before I lost most of my Spanish and felt fully integrated into my American community. Today I am an 18-year-old rising senior at New Milford High School, and not much has changed. America has given me wonderful and innumerable opportunities, but being undocumented also deprives you of basic rights and justice. This past year was partially hard and painful. The endless opportunities, the sky's your only limit messages that my teachers have told me all came shattering down. I listened to all my friends and teachers talk about college and life after college. All this made me feel anxious and worried. I learned to listen to all of this with a smile, trying to hide all the emotions that I felt. Up until now, I have loved high school. All the experiences, being involved in everything, the executive club, raising money, all the things we have done. And I find myself talking to people that say, oh, I can't wait to leave high school. And then I tell myself, and I tell them, I'm so happy here, I don't ever want to graduate high school. But then I sit and I wonder to myself, and I say, is that because I truly love everything, or is that because I am so scared of what is to come after high school? Because being in this situation, I don't really have a paved path or a set, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, or a set plan for after high school. I am so happy to be able to stand here today because today is a new day with a new reality made possible. I don't have to hide anymore because my dreams of an opportunity at college are more possible because of you. Connecticut, you made this possible. To my legislators and Governor Malloy, to all my peers and fellow Connecticut residents, thank you. By signing this bill into law, you have opened one more door. You have brought us one step closer to pursuing our dreams of higher education. And in doing so, granted us the opportunity to become professionals and continue to be contributors to our community, our state, and our country, the United States of America. Thank you all so much.
Well, if anybody questioned why this bill passed, there's no questions anymore after listening to Maria. Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And let me take a few seconds here, so before I keep the agenda going. We do have our superintendent of schools, Dr. Reggie Mayo. I saw him someplace in the back here. Thank you, Reggie, for coming today. And let me introduce some of our elected officials that are not speaking here today. We have the Majority Leader of the House, Brendan Sharkey, here. State Representative Pat Dillon, here. State Representative Roland Lamar is also here. And now I have the opportunity to introduce a gentleman who is a state representative from this wonderful city who has fought hard and carried this bill throughout the House, and that's State Representative Juan Candelara.
Thank you. Gracias. I can't believe we're here today, and we're about to see our great governor sign this bill into law. It was the 6th longest hours I've ever had in my life debating the bill. But you know what? It was worth it, because it was a good cause. We did it for the right reasons. These are children that have attended our schools for years. Their parents have contributed to our economy in many different ways. Nothing is given back to them. They will be contributing to our economy. These kids, their intellectual capital, we cannot let it go to waste. It is true hard work and perseverance that made this bill possible. And many people, and I'll just name a few, Father Manship, Barbara Richards, who did a lot of the research for us, Connecticut Dreamers, the Latino and Puerto Rican Affairs Commission. This wasn't just us, the legislators, and my colleagues, of course, who did a lot of the background work, lobbying other colleagues in the board to ensure, in the House, to ensure that this bill did pass. So thank all of you, and all of those that I forgot to mention, because there were so many that did so much work, and their names may not be mentioned tonight, but just know that it was your hard work that made this possible. Felicidades, congratulations, and I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan, very, very much. And now it's also a great opportunity for me to introduce one of the quietest men that I really do know. I got to tell you, but he really does carry a big stick. And I've now, as the Lieutenant Governor, been able to serve with him in the Senate. A man who has represented this city for many, many years, but truly a man that fought hard for this bill. My good friend and your good friend, Senator Martin Looney.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We are blessed to have an extraordinary Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman, who is our presiding officer in the state Senate. And what a breath of fresh air she has been. All of us know her for her many years in state service. This bill that we're here to celebrate the signing of today, as we know, is a sign of hope and a sign of faith in the potential of our young people. And we must not place any roadblocks in the path of those who aspire with energy and ability for a better life. We need to have all of these people fully able to contribute to our state's future. That's what this is all about. As was said earlier, those who can participate in this program are graduates of our high schools. They have grown up here. They are part of the fabric of our community and are motivated to succeed, which is the American dream. The testimony of Maria and others is exactly what we hope all American kids will be like and will aspire to do. And what a huge difference we had this year from the year 2007, when this bill was first introduced. In that year, we struggled and did get it passed in the House and Senate, but it was vetoed by the governor. We did have advocates, but this year the advocacy was even better, more well-informed, and more strategic. And I think I wanted to especially acknowledge the work of Congregations Organized for a New Connecticut, Connect. Many of their people are here today. And Father James Manship, who was mentioned by Representative Candelaria. Father Manship has been an advocate on this issue for many years, and St. Rose of Lima Parish has formed its own group to help raise funds to help students who are parishioners of that parish to go to higher education when other opportunities for financial aid are not available to them. So this was a work with many, many contributors. Some have been mentioned already in the Senate. I want to especially acknowledge our Senate President Pro Tem, Senator Don Williams, and Senator Beth Bayh, the chair of the Higher Education Committee, who helped carry the debate on that bill, voted it out of committee, and defended and advocated for the bill on the floor, as did Representative Willison, the co-chair of Higher Ed in the House of Representatives. My counterpart in the House, Brendan Sharkey, was acknowledged earlier, and his support was absolutely critical. And anyone who saw the floor debate in the House knows how much he contributed to the passage of that bill, as well as to the strategy. So there were many of us who were involved this year and 4 years ago. The advocacy was better, it was stronger. But there was one fundamental difference this year as opposed to 2007, and that is who is the governor of the state of Connecticut. And in 2007, we know that Governor Rell opposed the bill. We knew that when it passed, it would not survive her veto. It did not pass by the two-thirds margin necessary to overturn a gubernatorial veto. But this time, the governor of the state of Connecticut was an advocate for the bill. He had said last year during his campaign that this was an important policy issue for him. He was forthright and foursquare on this bill from the beginning. And it is wonderful that we are here today to celebrate with him our great governor, Dannel P. Malloy.
It's a great privilege to be with all of you. I want to, Andre Ayala joined us. Andre, since we're talking about academics, being tardy as you are, you've gone from an A to a B. So now it's great to have you join all of the folks behind me who worked on this bill, to join my great friend, Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman, as we celebrate this occasion, and to have a new friend, originally of Peru, but who could not be more American, to spend some time with you, Maria, is a great privilege as well. You know, this is something that I have felt very deeply about for a long period of time. I've told this story in the past, and I'll tell it here. You know, in the 14 years that I was mayor, one of the most difficult moments for me was when a young lady, 18 years old, graduate of West Hill High School, during one of my summer open office gatherings, which I did monthly, came to talk to me about the fact that she had been accepted to the University of Connecticut. But because she could not access in-state tuition rates, she would be unable to attend that university, and she wanted to know whether I had any ways of helping. And of course, I had some ways of helping, and that was to send her to groups that might help her defray some of that expense. But in the back of my mind, I hope that this day might itself arrive, that prior to being a governor who would veto such legislation, that someday I might, as I aspired to, have the position of governor and be in a position to sign legislation which is just plain common sense. Young people come to our country in different ways, but many people come to our country as children. Brought here, yes, some people might say illegally, but nonetheless they were children. They did nothing wrong. They themselves did not violate any law. And I want to be clear that I think as Americans we should in fact control our borders and who comes to this country. But we also must simply accept the fact that there are a large portion of our population, particularly living in our urban areas, particularly living in a state like Connecticut, who brought here as children, who educated here as Americans, who strive for the same dreams, dream in the same colors that we all dream in for their own aspirations and their own futures, would otherwise be denied the access to a college education because, in a short-sighted way, we would deny them access to the same in-state tuition rates that other students were able to access. We're not talking about a tremendous number of people. We're not talking about overwhelming our ability to educate these children, and we're not talking about educating other states' children. We're talking about educating our own. The children who sat in the classroom next to my son Ben or Sam or Dan. Children who sit in every classroom across this state, perhaps, who, having been brought here by a child, would otherwise be denied. You don't get to celebrate that many days and that many occasions in the office of governor or legislature as great as this day. To understand that we as a state are taking an act that most states are refusing to take, and that is to accept the simple reality that all of our young people who strive for an education, who prove themselves in community and school, should have the opportunity to go and live the rest of their lives as they were going to anyway in this country. But in this case, have the opportunity to have earnings of $1 million more than they otherwise would have. Therefore, have the ability to pay taxes and become legal residents and become citizens of our state and our nation. This is a great day to celebrate, because we're celebrating not just the passage of this law or the signature that I will apply to it. We are celebrating the success of a new generation of people. Who by their very presence and perseverance will repay us many times over. Final story I want to share with you, and this perhaps should remind all of us, or most of us here, that we are the children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren of people who came to this country, some voluntarily, some even not voluntarily, in slavery. We are a nation of immigrants. My own family began to come here in the late 1840s, and by the 1890s had completed that passage from Ireland to the United States. On examination of my family tree, I discovered that 6 of the 8 branches came through New York, and 2 of those branches came through Canada. In all likelihood, I am the grandchild or great-grandchild of at least one illegal immigrant. I somehow have found a way to contribute. I'm betting on Maria.
Ready? Go ahead, Jay. There you go. See, there you go. Where you get the first one. You got the pen.
Yours.
You don't have to do. That's the pen. You can hold it. Share it with your sister. She did a lot of work.
Marty?
There you go. And back. Here you go. One gets it. One. Boy, I'm glad you got a long name, Governor.
That's right. Just change that.
There you go. Good job of handing these out. When you got it going?
Yeah.
And there you go. Thanks, Governor.
There you go. All right. Got them, Matt? We got them all? There you go.
Everybody?
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
There we go. There we go.
Thank you, Governor.
It's signed.
Yay!